Hello lovely people, how are you all doing today? I hope you're well. I can't disguise my grin. I'm very excited. Today is one of my favourite days of the year. Treats for a tenner, yay! Can't wait. What fun can I have with this? It's a Queenie one. Have we got King Charles on the tenners yet? I don't know. Okay, so for those of you who don't know, perhaps you're new to my channel in the last year or so, and if you are, by the way, welcome. You're all very welcome here. There's always space for another on the sofa. This is a little tradition I started in 2020, so this is its 5th year. I didn't know it was going to be a tradition when I did it that time, but yeah, it's turned into a tradition, and it's one that I love and look forward to. The idea being that throughout the rest of the year, I'm obviously really careful with my money. You know my motto by now, anyone who's been watching a while. When it comes to buying anything, I always ask that question, do I really need it? And if I don't really need it, I don't buy it. I simply don't buy it. So pretty much throughout the year, my spending is on food and then occasional items that I actually need, like a pair of trainers, because my other trainers have fallen apart. I haven't had to buy any trainers this year. But yeah, only things that I actually need, which tends to be food and sometimes a bit of clothing. And that's pretty much it. So this one day a year, I give myself a tenner and I can blow it on whatever I want. Whatever I want. If I see something, even if I don't need it, I can buy it. Yay! It could be one item for 10 quid. Although it hasn't ever been that. Over the years, it's been a number of bits and bobs. Anywhere between sort of 5 and 10 items. But yeah, it's a no-hold-barred spending day. Now, I just mentioned I started this in, it was 2020, and I've just looked, sorry, I just suddenly thought of something completely different, sorry. I looked up online last night because I thought we've had some pretty high inflation in the last couple of years. Let's not say why, but we have. So what is my tenner worth today? Or just for £10 of spending, you know what I mean, what's the inflation done to it? So actually now, today, I ought to be allowing myself £12.42, nearly £12.50. That's mad. So as the years go by, I'm going to be getting less and less for my tenner. But saying treats for a £12.50 doesn't have quite the same ring, does it? Maybe if I'm still doing all this nonsense in another 10 years, it might be treats for a 20. Actually, we don't. A 20. It's a fiver, a tenner, and then it's a 20. No. Anyway, I digress. That's because I'm really excited. So it's quite a gloomy day. We've had so many rain days recently, or really dark days, and then in the evenings it's been raining. I actually haven't shot any footage of my Christmas lights this year because every time I've been able to do it, it's just been tipping down. Just can't take my camera out in the rain. Anyway, never mind, it's not raining right now. I'm going to put my hat, scarf and gloves on and go out to my little high street and see what I can do with this £10 note. So I will see you all back at the ranch in maybe a couple of hours or so. I'll stay out as long as I fancy. I'll probably chat to people. There's no hurry today. Today it's all about this and being out there and seeing friends and neighbours up and down the high street and just taking my time. So you might want to make a cup of tea in the meantime, and I'll see you when I'm back. Oh, that was so lovely. Oh, I've bumped into so many people, a couple of friends I haven't seen for ages. I've stopped, I've nattered for as long as I fancied, and that is the other great thing about treats for a tenner that I've made for myself is, as far as I'm concerned, this whole day is about treats for a tenner, and therefore I don't have to rush. I'm not trying to combine going out there with, you know, post office and shopping and all boring stuff. It's completely, this day is completely free for me to do with as I please. Yay! So yeah, just I feel, I was gonna say I feel all warm and fuzzy. It was a bit damp out there, so I kind of stripped layers, outer layers that were a bit damp. Then I've started to feel chilly, so perfect. It's hoodie time. There's nothing as snug as a hoodie, is there? Right, anyway. What's in the treats for a tenner bag this year, Vivi? Treasure. I don't know where to... Hold on, let's do it. Oh, no, it's gonna... I didn't think this through. I'm not doing it in the living room because the table is full of sewing at the moment, so... Right, let's just dive in. I'm gonna put the bag on the floor, I think. Maybe, or no. Sorry, I should have thought this through. I'm going to take things out of the bag. Don't look, no looking, no peeking, no peeking. There's something else with that. Oh yeah, there we go. Oh, there we go. You didn't peek, did you? Right. First of all, a book. Of course, a book. Seeds of Change by Henry Hobhouse. I'm chuffed with this because one of the charity shops, I seem to have caught this every year when I've done it, so I'm wondering if, excuse me, maybe they have a bit of a sale on before Christmas clear stock. I don't know whether they're probably expecting a load of stock in the new year as people have a clear out after Christmas. Anyway, all paperbacks were £1. £1 for a paperback. So I had a really good route through, and it was quite a lot of the usual kind of, how to put it, chick lit. Sorry, I just need to, I've got a note there I wanted to remind myself of. Yeah, chick lit, thrillers, not my cup of tea, but it's always worth a good rummage, because then I found this, Seeds of Change by Henry Hobhouse. The subtitle is 5 Plants That Transformed Mankind. Now, I've known of this book for ages. Let's have a quick look. Publication date, where are we? Yeah, first published in 1985. You see, I think of 1985 as like, that's not that long ago. I was doing my O-levels. It's 40 years ago, near enough. 40 blooming years. So I've known of this book for ages. I've seen it occasionally. I thought, I've seen it. It retailed then at £10.99, or is that a more recent edition? This edition, 1992, 824, 32 years. So £10.99, 32 years ago is a lot of money, as we've just proved with the whole £10 is now more like £12.50. Anyway, the point is I haven't picked it up because it's too expensive. But this book features, it's about 5 commercial plants: sugar, tea, cotton, potatoes and quinine. And it shows how man's need or greed, this is their words, for these products has changed the face of history and shaped destinies. A fascinating and highly original interpretation of large areas of history. It argues that these commodities have had a more profound impact on the world than most wars, battles and revolutions. I think that is going to be a thoroughly engrossing. Do you remember back in May, I finally got round to reading that book, Cod. What's his name? Mark Kalansky, something like that. And it was all about cod fishing and how, and you think, a book about cod, like the fish and the fishing, a bit boring. But it's got a far-reaching social history, a far-reaching impact on all of us, even down to things like the slave trade in the Caribbean islands, and you know, slavery to produce sugar. So I'm presuming that's going to be part of the chapter on sugar. So yeah, sugar, tea, cotton, potatoes and quinine. I wouldn't have thought quinine would, that's going to be a really interesting chapter to read, because I would have not thought that that would be one of the plants. Quinine, think of your tonic water when you're having your G&T, it's quinine. I think it's quinine in tonic, I'm pretty sure it is. Anyway, so for £1, I am chuffed with that, Seeds of Change. And I think it's, yeah, I'll be really happy to educate myself a little bit more on all these subjects. It might even end up in my shop afterwards. I think that's going to be an absolute corker. So that was £1. I also, during that rummage, found another one. This is a total bargain for £1. I'll come to how much I spent in a second of my tenner. Okay, it's a bird book, Birds of Britain and Europe, RSPB, produced by Dorling Kindersley. And they're really good at books, the visual books. So you can see there's some really good images to use, obviously maps in terms of distribution, habitat, all of that. Okay, yeah, bog standard, isn't it? I'm quite good at recognising my sort of garden / allotment birds. So actually all the ones on the top here, jay, tits, the finches, robin, great spotted woodpecker, I used to have those in the garden quite a lot. I'm quite good at recognising those, and then obvious ones like kingfishers, herons, mallard duck, etc, etc. I'm not so good at identifying our raptors. I know a kestrel when I see one, but no, it's not. That's kind of not why I've bought it, although it will be useful. I do have a bird identification book, but it's really old and it's all in black and white, and really we need that added help of the colour, don't we, when we're trying to identify. Unless we're looking at a bird in flight, and then you probably don't see much colour at all. It's more about the silhouette. I bought this because in the back, a CD. I've been after a bird book with a CD of bird song for the longest time. I found one a few years ago, 4 or 5 years ago, and I put it in my shop and it sold pretty much straight away, and I rued the day. I regretted it ever since, because whilst I say I'm quite good at recognising birds when I see them, I'm not brilliant on recognising their song. I mean, robins and blackbirds, yes, but the rest I'm not very good on. I think there's a list. Yeah, so there's a CD, so there's 99 tracks on here, and then so you've got all the different bird song, and then it tells you which page the bird is on in the book to have a look at. But never mind that. The point is, I want to learn to be able to identify the bird song better. But more than that, I've bought this specifically, and I checked to make sure it had it, and I've lost it again. Oh yeah, the track 35 is my favourite bird song ever, and we're losing it. And I mean, hopefully, you know, with some of these books I've been talking about, like that Wilding book, hopefully we're not going to lose them forever. And hopefully some birds are on the increase again. Here's hoping. But the one I really, really wanted was the song of, and it's going to make me emotional, but it's the song of the skylark. To me, the sound of a skylark it's summer. And I can, even now, right in my head now, I'm not in London anymore. In my head, I'm up on the chalk downs, down where my grandparents lived. I'm lying in long grass, and there are a few wildflowers still. I'm lying right up on the top. It's a warm day. I'm bathed in sunlight, and I'm looking high above, and I can see a skylark wheeling about in the sky, and I can hear its song from all the way up there. What a bargain, a quid. That would retail at, wow, that's £16.99 to buy it new. When was that one published? 2002. This revised edition is 2011. So even that, you know, that's probably gone up to more like 17, 18, 19.99 by now. So a quid, that's brilliant. And it's one of those books I can just take off the shelf, have a little look. Oh, I'm in Golden Eagle. I've only seen one Golden Eagle once in my life. Driving up to, I was staying up near Rannoch Moor, just before Glencoe. But to get there, travelling from Glasgow, driving up past Loch Lomond, up in one of the trees, because it was winter, so the trees are bare, spotted it in the distance, and I was with my boyfriend. We were going away for Christmas to a cottage up there. I was like, slow down, stop! There was no traffic anywhere around us, so we were safe. Like, stop, so we kind of just inched over to the side of the road to look at this magnificent, unbelievably stunning bird up there in the tree. And then a couple of seconds later, it kind of lurched up out of the tree, sort of swooped down and then went across the loch. And because it was such a gorgeous day, the water was utterly still, mirror, you know. So not only did we see the Golden Eagle fly, it sort of came down and then started coming up again across the loch, and then the reflection of it in the loch. Now we were kind of scrabbling for a camera but not wanting to miss this moment of seeing it, so no shots were taken that day. But anyway, back to the book. Yeah, I can just dip into it to my heart's content, but literally the minute I've finished with this today, edited, etc., that CD is going in the CD player, and I'm going to be listening to track 35 first, The Skylark. That's a great bargain. As I say, amidst all the chicklet and thrillers and rubbish, 2 fantastic books. Chuffed. Ah, right, now another bargain. So, I'm chuffed with this one. Hold on a sec. In my little Tesco's, there's an area right down at the end of one of the aisles towards the back that I never go to because it's on one side, it's the wall side, it's all bottled water. So of course I don't go there. And opposite it is pet food. So I don't go there either because it's, you know, pet food. But there was a day when I was in the it's hard to describe, I was kind of at the halfway point and wanting to go up. One of the other aisles was really, really busy. So just beyond there are freezers. And I think I must have been going for something like frozen peas or something. And I couldn't get up the aisle that I wanted. So I scooted around and I went to go up that aisle that I never go up with the bottled water and the pet food. And there were a couple of ladies at one particular shelf, and they were kind of going caw, coo, caw. They were cooing and cawing over some bargains. So naturally, my curiosity, I kind of came up behind them. And it's a little section of the shop I've never known about before now. And it's a sort of a clearance shelf. So they do all the normal yellow sticker stuff. So one of the fridges buys sort of cheese and yogurts. That fridge is all the yellow sticker fridge stuff. And quite often near the till, there'll be a pile of bread with a yellow sticker and all that kind of stuff. But this wasn't yellow sticker stuff. It was clearance. I guess clearance because they're not going to stock the product anymore. Or, for instance, I suppose, when did I first see this aisle? I think it might have been at the beginning of November. No, in October, because I was having the logic of it that they're making way for seasonal products like the Halloween stuff and bonfire night. Anyway, so I clocked it that day and I had a good look, and there was nothing there that that I either wanted or needed. And remember, it's only a bargain if you were going to buy it anyway. So there was nothing there, but I thought, you know, because I go in there maybe once a week, there's a really nice sourdough bread they do. So anyway, I thought I'm going to keep an eye on this, this clearance section. I'm going to keep a real close eye on it, because you never know, there might be something that's actually useful, and that's what I found today. Utter bargain, £1.25, and I think it's normally more like, because on the shelf it says reduced to clear £1.25, and then little font underneath the original price. I think it's more like £5. I'm not sure, don't quote me, but £1.25 for hot chocolate. Yeah. I mean, that's an absolute blooming bargain. Now, it's not the best hot chocolate in the world. It's not, you know, it's not a luxury hot chocolate, but, you know, it's a lower calorie one. Great. I don't have to worry too much about it. I don't really care about that anyway, but I can't get over that. £1.25. So, I mean, look, it's winter, isn't it? It's quite nice of an evening to just have a little mug of hot chocolate. On a chilly evening, I'm curled up on the sofa having a read, and I'm going to have a hot chocolate. I can't get over that. That shelf, that little section, that's going to be my... it has become one of my go-to. So, you know, I've talked about how once I've moved, I want to change my shopping habits a bit. And the reason for that is because I won't be saving so hard, because I won't be saving to move. I will have moved and I'll know what my finances are, and I should have a bit more leeway, But at the moment, for now, anyway, the point is I'll still be doing most of my shopping at Lidl. But what I'll do is I go past this place on my way to Lidl. So just make it a new weekly habit of going and looking at their clearance shelf, because there might be something on my shopping list. It's on the clearance shelf. Get it on clearance. Yay! Oh, right. Okay, now, speaking of Lidl, this is my most expensive purchase today, and this is a real treat. Oh, it's squished in my bag. Yeah. Baklava. Oh my God, I love baklava. For those of you who've never eaten baklava, oh, it's just delicious. It's phyllo pastry, so it's pastry that goes really flaky and crispy, and honey and crushed pistachios. It's normally just pistachios. I think some of these, by the picture, looks like they might have crushed walnuts, but it's generally pistachios. And it's the most sticky, drippy, delicious, oozy gorgeousness you can imagine. I don't know what to start in on. As soon as this camera is off, I'm going to be listening to Skylarks with a mug of hot chocolate, stuffing my chops with baklava. Oh, I keep squirting saliva in anticipation. I love baklava, but I don't have it. I mean, it's a really, really naughty food. It's not food, it's a treat. But you know what? Treats for a tenner. I don't have to question it. If I want it, I'll jolly well have it. £2.99, so £3 of my tenner gone just on that. But I think it's going to be worth it. I'm sure it'll be worth it. You can't see them, can you? That's there we go. My little treasure trove. Nudge up, nudge up, nudge up. Right. Okay, next. Build the anticipation with a glug of water. Next is something I have had in Treats for a Tenner before, but I bought it again this time for a very specific reason. Well, no, I just fancied it. Anyway, the point is, Raydos. Gorgeous Raydos for the bath. And again, for anyone who doesn't know about Raydos, I don't know whether it's all around the world, as you see at the bottom, it says muscle soak. It's made with minerals and herbs and mineral therapy since 1908 in a cardboard box. So you put this in your bath and just and it smells, I smell it through the box, it smells gorgeous. It's the most relaxing, it's an indulgence, it's a real indulgence. It's the kind of bath you have for half an hour with a book, and if you fancy, maybe a glass of wine, but it's definitely that kind of long indulgent soak after a hard day in the allotment or whatever. Gorgeous. But I hadn't, when I went out, I didn't really have in mind anything specific. It's treats for a tenner. Go out and see what takes your fancy. But I'd gone into the shop where this is. I thought, I'll just have a mooch. It's a day for mooching. And I didn't think twice. I thought, I'm having the Raydos because, and this will be a huge change for me, my new flat doesn't have a bath. What am I going to do? It only has a shower. And it's a biggish shower. It's not a cubicle shower. Width-wise, I think if I wanted, I could probably get a slightly shorter bath in the space it takes up. It's kind of on the end of the bathroom wall. So I think maybe I could find a smaller bath to squeeze in. And when I went to see the flat, I thought, no bath, I ain't buying it. But actually, I'm only going to get older as the years go by. In my bath here, because it's a freestyle, because it's a clawfoot, it's on legs like this big, and then it's a really deep bath anyway. It's quite a climb in and out, which, I can manage. It doesn't even occur to me most days, but there have been a few days when my knees have been really bad, and I thought, I wanted a bath, and I thought, I'm actually not going to have a bath, because I don't trust my knees to get me out of it again. So, so the new place, it's only got a shower, and initially I thought, no, I can't live without a bath. But like I said, I think going forward, and it's all about future-proofing as well, isn't it? I think it's sensible to have a walk-in shower. As in, the step into the shower is only sort of that big, because, it's future-proofing, isn't it? It may be that I buy a stool to have in there so I can just sit and it be a bit more relaxing just by sitting under the water rather than standing. Who knows? But in the meantime, that's why this year I'm having a box of Raydos. I'm going to really enjoy this over the coming weeks. And by the way, no, I don't have a date yet. Patience. I know it's doing my head in. It's really doing my head in now, but just keep breathing, keep getting on with other stuff, enjoy treats for a tanner, don't think about what's happening. I'm going to really, really make the most of this in the coming weeks. Hopefully it's only going to be the coming few weeks rather than the coming months. So it's a bit weird, isn't it? It's really weird to think of, it's just weird to think of all the change that's going to come. It's exciting, but it's also, weird. Anyway, bathing while I'm still here. Right, what should we have? There's only 3 more things left. This is a little bit of nostalgia. 90 pence spent on cherry drops. Who remembers cherry drops? I haven't seen these for donkeys. I don't really look at sweets in shops anyway, but it's, not when you go to the corner shop, all the sweets in front, it's usually all the chocolate bars, isn't it? Your Mars and your Snickers. I've gone back in time because it's cherry drops. But your Mars bars and your Boosts and your bars of chocolate and all the different chocolates. But these little packets of sweets, I haven't seen for years. So at 90p, I thought, I'm definitely having that. Can't wait, can't wait, can't wait. There's another sweet. I'm leaving the other sweet till the end because I'm going to try, I can't wait to try one again. Anyway, so yeah, some cherry drops. Right, then we're now down to almost the crux of it. 50p spent on another book. It's not an adult book. The adult books are never 50p. I bought a kid's book. If you remember last year, I bought Stig of the Dump, and as much for anything else as for Clive King. Clive King's the writer for the Edward Ardazoni illustrations, because I love his illustrations. This I bought specifically for the story because I adored both. I loved the story, but it was the concept that I really loved because of our family grandfather clock. I bought Tom's Midnight Garden. And I'm sure, excuse me, I'm getting excited, I'm getting my tickle back. I am sure that most of you know the story of Tom's Midnight Garden, but for those who don't, Tom is he a refugee? I can't remember the details. No, he's gone to stay with other family, and they have a clock and it strikes on the hour, and he's lying in bed listening to as he lies awake in his bed, he listens to the grandfather clock chiming in the hall downstairs. 10, 11, 12, 13. The clock strikes 13. So he races downstairs, opens the back door to find himself in another world, in another time. He's gone back to, I think it's the Edwardian era. And there are children there, and he plays them. Are these children ghosts, or is Tom the ghost? So I just love that idea. I remember having read it, I don't know how old I was, but desperately trying to stay awake when I was little to hear our grandfather clock strike 13. And it would strike, I would maybe get to hear it strike up to number 9, but I don't think I ever heard it strike 10. I certainly didn't hear it strike 12, so I missed out on finding a Midnight Garden. Yeah, this is pure sentiment, and I can't remember the story other than the clock striking, first published in 1958, so it had been around 20 odd years or so before I read it. Oh yeah, sorry, I'm suddenly lost in that world. This haunting and magical story is one of the best loved children's books ever written. Big claims. So yeah, obviously that'll be a couple of hours of a read, but that, I'm getting me locks on now. This is why it's treats for a tenner. I might have this afternoon as well. I'm going to listen to my Skylark, then I'll curl up with maybe today, but Tom's Midnight Garden, a mug of hot chocolate, a couple of pieces of baklava, and then later lounge in a Raydos bath, sucking on a cherry drop. Oh, I love it. Tom's Midnight Garden. And finally, I just salivated in Prospect. Also in the sweets department, 60p, so I spent £1.50 on sweeties. I would say naughty, but no, it's not naughty. Parma Violets! Oh my goodness, when was the last time any of you had a Parma Violet? I am dying. I'm dying for this. I'm not going to wait, I can't get in. I haven't had Parma Violets. I can't get in since I was about 15 or 16. So again, for any who don't know, they're little hard sweets with they're faintly sort of violet coloured. The taste of, oh my goodness, with the taste of violets. Oh my goodness, they're gorgeous. Oh my goodness. I'm very colour coordinated, aren't I? and crunching it. Wow. I've just gone back 40 plus years. They taste exactly the same as they did when I was a kid. They were smaller when I was a kid. They were really, really tiny. I'm really salivating. Oh my goodness, that is precious. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. What fantastic treats. Wow, those Parma violets, that's... Oh, they've done me up like a kipper now. I feel emotional, actually. That's incredible. That's... I'm back in time. Wow. I know, we all know how scent is one of the biggest triggers of memory, but wow. If you haven't had a Parma violet for years, go and get some Parma violets. Okay, what did I spend? I went over my 10 quid budget. Oh, my bad. I've actually ended up spending £10 and 23p. I don't care, that kind of nudged it over. Yeah, I think I was on, what was I? Let's take it, I was on £7.24, so I had £2.76 left. They were £2.99. I thought, I'm having them. I don't care. So I've gone over budget for the first time since started doing, for the first time in 5 years. I've gone over budget. Naughty me. But I think considering what I said about inflation, I'm allowing it. Yeah, I feel thoroughly spoiled. I love what I got. The enjoyment is going to go on for days now because, you know, well, the bird book, the enjoyment from that will go on for years. The two other books, that enjoyment will go on for days. The Backover, I really want to make that enjoyment go on for days. I've got a sneaking feeling though that if I open it, I'm going to muller the lot and whatever, but sweets will be gone. The hot chocolate and the Raydos, that will be, you know, pleasure that will go on for days and days too. So just shows, doesn't it, you know, with a tenner, you can actually really, really give yourself a big kind of hug, a bunch of fun and some, yeah, just loveliness. It's lovely stuff. I feel spoilt. I feel really, and that's the thing. I feel spoilt right now. And it was only 10 quid. So you know what? If you've never done it, give it a go yourself. Spoil yourself with a treats for a tenner day. You might have, where are we? We're only a few days away from Christmas, aren't you? You might not have time this Christmas. Maybe do it in January. That's a good idea. In January, when the weather's dull and everything's a bit meh, maybe do it with friends or family to say, right, let's have a treats for a tenner party, as it were. All of you go off and do your finding of treats and then come back together for a cup of tea and to share what you managed to find for a tenner for yourself. Just give yourself that treat and the utter joy of it, the simple, unadulterated joy. Spoil yourself. All right, lovelies. Well, that's it for now. Let me see what's coming up. Yeah, so we're about a week out from Christmas, aren't we? So there will be another video coming soon-ish. We might be back in the kitchen, I'm not sure, but I will see you again before Christmas. Anyway, that's what I'm trying to say. So yeah, I will see you all really soon. In the meantime, I'm gonna shove you all away and get stuck into this lot and just have a really, really, really gorgeous day all for myself. Yeah, self-indulgence, brilliant. So until the next one, please look after yourselves. And if you can, just find a little bit of time for yourself to just give yourself that indulgent little hug in whatever form it comes in. Until the next one, cheerio.